most of the relationships between couples who I see, they're based on this kind of codependent dynamic where one person is more withdrawn and moving away from love and going into hiding, whoever's holding the masculine pole, and one person is really grasping for love and wanting more love. And, you know, we all have both of these inside of us, but one usually shows up externally more predominantly. So, you know, someone who grasps for love is commonly referred to in attachment style psychology as anxiously attached or a love addict. And then the person who pulls away from love is commonly referred to as avoidant attachment, so the love avoider. And yeah, they're a great couple. They're a great codependent couple. And, you know, essentially beyond the labeling, what's happening is that wounded part of us that is afraid of intimacy, the love avoidant part of us, is attracted to a love addict because we're needing that extreme energy to actually take us closer into love. And for a love addict, they're attracting a love avoider because that extreme energy is making them be independent and face their aloneness. But there are less harsh ways of learning this if we know about these styles and we become familiar with something called secure attachment. And secure attachment is a relationship where, yeah, relating is much easier. And it doesn't mean that shit doesn't come up, but it means that both people are able to come back to love and both people want to come back to love. And rather than being right, being the primary focus of the communication, actually sharing how we feel and what we need is the primary focus of communication. So, you know, it's like both the love avoider and the love addict have huge issues with saying how they feel and what they need for a few reasons. The first most predominant reason for someone anxiously attached is that if their partner is withdrawing or if they're not feeling like a priority, they take it very personally. And they think something's wrong with me and what's going on and what do I have to do and that person doesn't love me anymore. And there's all this anxiety that arises, but then they have shame around what they're feeling and they don't want to appear needy, and there's all this inner conflict that's happening inside of them, which then manifests as outer conflict because then they project all of that onto their partner, either explosively when they just can't hold all that anxiety in anymore, or through hours and hours, what seems like hours and hours, probably like a monologue of everything that the partner has done wrong. Put really simplistically, it's about getting out of the mind and the needing to be right and needing to make the other person wrong, and really taking self-responsibility, being able to feel into our bodies without all the you, and spewing that people do in relationships and passive shaming and overt shaming, and just really take it back to themselves. And it's hard to do. And, you know, securely attached adults have grown up, have been in an environment when they were younger where they had a safe foundation, where they felt very loved by their parents, and they also had a level of freedom to be independent and to be their own person. So, you know, not many of us have felt safe and free at the same time growing up. So the way that these patterns manifest is that we're trying to find that safety, trying to find that love, trying to find that freedom through relationship. So a love avoider is very afraid and very sensitive to any kind of restriction on their freedom. And they really find it hard not to project their emotional body onto their partner. Same with the love addict. But the flavor with the love avoider is a little bit different. It's more like, I'm feeling restricted, I'm feeling not free, and it's your fault that I'm not feeling that way. Whereas the love addict is like, I'm not feeling loved, I'm not feeling safe, and it's your fault. And essentially both are wanting to create separation. I guess what I really want to talk about and address now is, what does it look like when we're more securely attached? And the main thing that it looks like is that we no longer have shame around our emotional body, because this is the big piece. It's like, what if you just fucking stopped with being right, stopped bringing up the past and giving your partner a case study of all the ways they're fucked up and castrating them?
But I'm always right.
And you just really tuned in to your body and took responsibility for what you were feeling, and then unashamedly asked for what you need, because we find all these covert ways of asking for what we need. And I feel like the stepping stone in healing and becoming securely attached is realizing that it's okay to have needs and to ask for them. And this doesn't mean expecting your partner to meet your every need by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, the opposite. It's like when we can actually sit with our emotional body and feel, we realize that often we can meet our own needs. But then when there are those times when we're checking in with ourselves and really getting real with what's there, then we can come to a place of not judging our partner, accepting them, not wanting to take them through the mill of everything they've done wrong, but just saying, hey, I'm feeling really sad. I'm needing you to speak more gently to me and not so aggressively, and that would provide me with safety. And then we're coming from responsibility, and then the other person can just say yes or no to that. So it sounds easy, but it's actually really hard for a lot of people, because a lot of people have had neglect. And when we've suffered from neglect, especially in our childhood, but also later on in life, our nervous system actually want to project onto our partner that they're not listening to us, they're not attuned to us, and they're not feeling us. But it's not your fucking partner's job, right? That's your parents' job. That was your parents' job. It's your job to feel you. It's your job to listen to you. So healing this push-pull dynamic, and if you can hear this, it will change your life. Healing this push-pull dynamic is about sitting with yourself and not communicating until you are able to, first of all, acknowledge how you feel and say it without anyone being a perpetrator or a victim, just to yourself. I feel sad. Maybe giving that some breath and movement, releasing some of that tension in your body, validating it instead of searching for their validation. It's like, it's fair enough. So fair enough that you feel that way, not analyzing it and going, why am I feeling that way? I shouldn't be feeling that way. He's going to think I'm needy. She's going to think this, right? And then going, okay, and what's the solution here? And maybe the solution is something that you can meet for yourself, or maybe it's that you need to speak to your partner. And, what I've realized in my maturity is that you need to accept your partner for who they are. And you can accept them for who they are whilst still having needs and asking for them. So whenever I've tried to fully accept my partner, I've become a pushover and just accepted everything about them and not had my needs met. What I've realized is that that's not acceptance. Well, it's like trying to accept someone but not accepting yourself at the same time. You need to accept you and everything you're feeling in order to fully accept them, or resentment builds. So if you're coming from this place of, I totally accept you and I feel this and I need this, and it's not your fault that I need it, I just need it, it would provide me with safety, it would provide me with freedom, can you give that to me? And then the answer will be yes or no, and then you can either go forth in deeper love, or you can go, actually, I'm not a fit for this relationship. And then instead of all of it coming out in an emotional shitstorm, you're actually breathing, pausing, feeling. You're not projecting your parents onto your partner or expecting them to tune into you and feel you and to know what you need. You're taking responsibility. You're feeling into what you need, and then you're communicating it. And really, this is a mature feminine piece. But you need your mature masculine to be disciplined enough and out of the mind enough, or out of the judgmental, analytical mind that wants to make someone wrong, just to hold space, witness without judgment, and create safety for that feminine to express and say, baby, I feel angry. I need you to be more chivalrous and create more romance in our relationship, and that will make me feel like I'm important. So, there's all these ways of communicating that are so much more authentic, but are so difficult because we've learned to have a lot of shame around our feelings and our needs.